out of ideas on their T side of Dust too. So heading into Inferno, we're going to need to see them get off to a good start, maybe get themselves a pistol or one of these early kind of gun rounds to make sure that they're not running out of steam like we just saw, or they're not going to kind of let the momentum keep kind of hammering down on them, because Encore looked very convincing. First half was very, very neck and neck, back and forth. Second half, not so much. Over on the other stream as well, looking like Aftershock are about to take their first map down there in the lower brackets. So they're starting to recover nicely themselves.
All right, well, we'll jump into map number 2, and it is Encore to start on the CT side. Very much the expected result. You know, I guess obviously VERTEX, they are moving on to a map that they may be a little bit more comfortable on, a map that they've obviously chosen, but being that they are starting on T, hard yard's going to have to be put in here. And, well, if you're wondering where the X-ray is, I forgot to turn it back on, but that's okay, because there's no one in that area of the map anyway. And we'll go back over to the A-bomb site, where we're trying to get a little bit of a defense on here from VERTEX after they've managed to get some inroads made. It's just Savage left, but hey, we've seen some pretty good clutches from Savage so far today, so let's not count him out just yet.
Yeah, 1v3. No kit, and it's planted in the back of the site. That's going to kind of be an issue for him. He's waiting for someone to wrap in through jungle side, waiting for the T's to maybe make him a mistake and give him an easy pick, but they're just holding tight towards this pit site crossfires, so Savage might just go ahead and save his armor here.
Ooh, he's heard that footstep, but he'll be out of here. So, fair enough. This round goes the way of VERTEX, exactly the way they would have liked to have started things off. And I've got a special present for everybody. You can watch Bilski with his clown nose while I fix the X-ray.
I've got many costumes. Don't ask too many questions about it, though.
There we go. The more you know.
Well, look at that.
At any time.
I've just pulled out the party trick. I've fixed the X-ray.
Yep. It's not that you've got the God producer. You know, never makes a mistake. And also, even if there was any mistakes, insta-fixed. No problems at all. Love to see it.
Only makes mistakes so that you guys can see how good we are at filling.
That's right.
They call me Filski.
They've got a little bit of a force buy through here on call.
Yeah, deep mid smoke as well. Trying to make the T's a little bit uncomfortable. Molly into main, going to push Ustillo off the line. VERTEX just utilizing their utility to minimize risk, cut down the angles, make it easier to take that map control and deal with the pistolas. And they're going to throw their first CT smoke. Not so much to execute the site, but just to try to draw out a reaction. And look, if you're going headshot for headshot against Vexite, you got to make sure you aim it a little higher than that.
Savage is definitely trying to buy as much time as he can with all that util. Can't hold on for the second frag. Decent attempt from him, and Sterling has got some good damage onto Vexite, but again, just cannot quite convert. A few touch and go moments there for VERTEX, but they kind of win those 50-50s, and they're able to, I would say, solidly win this round, but maybe.
It's kind of doable. Vexite's pretty low. APOC, I've seen him thread a couple of needles before, and the timing. Oh, Vexite. Oh, he's got him covered. Vexite on low HP is good for it. That is disgusting from Hazardous. Bam in the deagle.
Oh, Hazard.
Throws him a bone.
Is it possible? I mean, this is a really dirty crossfire to break, but
old heat and potty, always good for it.
Yeah.
Vexite, that's a 4K from him, and he started. He got the second to fourth kill on 30 HP. Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
No
Low HP gamer.
There.
That's what happens when you have got good crosshair placement and good mechanics. If you're old and shit like me, when you're on 30 HP, you sit in the corner. If you're Vexite, you go kill the entire enemy team.
But with age comes wisdom, Pilski.
Yeah. True. I do know many things. Can't wait till I retire, so all of this knowledge about Oceanic Counter-Strike can be useless.
Yeah, that'll be the day, won't it? Finally let someone else have a turn. You sly dog.
I feel like Asda's not even aiming half the time. He's just spamming his dig, and Gaben's just giving him headshots.
Isn't that a deagle in a nutshell sometimes? How about 5.7s? You like those? I like those. USPs, I'm maybe not as much of a fan of here for Ustillo, and he also doesn't have any backup at all, so this would be an absolute miracle if he walks away with even one, and of course that won't happen. Spam through the smoke doesn't really connect either. And VERTEX are working their way through this T side pretty admirably so far. Some of these rounds are getting pretty tight, but they're getting the rounds on the board.
Hazza walking on into the site. That should have been a freebie, but that is what happens in this game when you have uneven terrain, little surfaces, and the T model. You step a little pixel, just a little pixel, onto like some random obscure brick, and all of a sudden your model just jerks into a completely different position and the other player can't hit the shot. An absolute thing of beauty. Love it every time I see it.
Where's Apok going?
He's getting exits, bro. Big impact. Love to see it from Apok. Scaring him off. This is the start that I wanted to see for VERTEX, Jordan. 3-0, got themselves a pistol. Couple clean rounds after that has cemented their money. I was getting a little worried about them, I'm not going to lie. Teakside Dust 2 did not look like a lot of fun, but they've started off well.
First gun round though for Encore, so this is where we're going to get into the meat and potatoes. Nice flash over the top. Oh, Apok.
Sterling. Oh, he's unhinged. He doesn't care.
I had a feeling he was going to do something like that when he was tossing the flashes over the top, and got one from one of his teammates as well. It's worked out nicely for Encore. They've got the 1-for-1 in mid, and then they've won a duel over at Banana. Aggression on both sides of the map from the CT side, and it's caught VERTEX off. Now they'll have to go back to plan B.
Yeah, they've got a man advantage though, and Sterling feeling comfortable to sit under that porch position. Off angle from Savage, supported by the flash from Ustillo on Coffins as soon as he gets contact. Good old Na'Vi setup. You love to see it.
Molly's going to go a little bit too deep to cause any problems for Savage. VERTEX are trying to use their time wisely. 50 seconds left in the round. Still doable, but they're going to have to deal with Sterling, and he's not a player that tends to miss these kinds of shots. Valiance will go down early on in the piece, and it's all too easy to grab not only the 2, but the 3K. And that's that. First gun round on the board for Encore.
Clean as well. 4 players alive. Multi-frag for Sterling. That's going to break 2 of the players' money on VERTEX. PZ could probably drop a rifle, and they could go for like a low util AK buy if they want. But instead, they're going to even up their cash across the board. Hero AK for PZ. Couple of Tech 9s mixed in. I don't mind this approach. Brace with the full util. Going to send some of the boys in at some point. If they could take a couple guns off Encore, maybe giving themselves an outside shot at winning the round if PZ has a bit of a pop-off. Is this a lead spam into apartments? Haven't seen that work for a while.
Looks like we've got a few VERTEX supporters in the chat, Pilski.
Oh, hold on. What are they saying?
A couple of people reckon VERTEX can still win the series. Seeing some VERTEX will win Inferno, some VERTEX will win some series.
Put big money. Someone put big money.
Yeah. Don't know. I don't know if I agree with you guys. I think I'm still leaning towards Encore, but we'll see who's right at the end of this map at least. Hazza doing a pretty good job of cleaning up more than just the one. That was pretty crisp.
That was deathmatch.
Yeah.
We just watched deathmatch.
And it's Hazza that's got easy for Ents, by the way, if you were wondering. Because there's no questions that he was the MVP in that round.
Clean. 5 alive. That's 2 rounds in a row that Encore have put themselves, well, rounds on the board, but cleanly. So they're going to be feeling good. Their economy is going to be thanking them for it. Brace spent a lot of cash in the last round, and now he's got to go down to a Mac 10 as a result. Although he does have $900 in the bank, so maybe it's actually just going to be a bit of a quick one from him in some part of the map. 1-for-1 in towards Banana to kick things off. Valiance cops a lot of damage there from somewhere. HE named to follow. Thought that might have copped him, but not quite.
Sterling flashed off the line this time. That's good from VERTEX. Forcing him back into the site more so. Still going to take up that moto position. Really, it's kind of on to APOC now to worry about two angles at once. And the push comes through from balcony. Malta with a bit of a pre-fire into pit. There's no one actually there to worry about. And APOC now under pressure on that bomb site. Will get run down by the MAC-10. So, bit of a weird looking take on the A bomb site. It kind of felt like a bunch of players got themselves out of position at awkward times. But it's kind of worked out for VERTEX. I think APOC was kind of caught in transition, moving back into the site. And ultimately, it looks like VERTEX will walk away with the round as a result.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't clean. I saw them cake a lot of util, like team flashing each other, messed up a couple mollies, but they still get it done. And they upgrade a handful of guns as well. Like, I think MAC-10 gets upgraded to AK. If PC maybe can find a rifle, that's going to be excellent for VERTEX. As we see now, bomb radius makes it more difficult for many of the boys to save. So they're scurrying on out of the site. No more sitting in pit anymore and taking your hands off the keyboard. Got to be a little bit more mobile out of the site, which is going to provide more opportunities for CTs to find exits from time to time, I would say. Going to be a little bit more viable to kind of milk the round a little bit on the way out. Maybe try to steal away a couple of guns, and, you know, in terms of min-maxing the economy, every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps, and VERTEX are putting one foot in front of the other on the T side right now, so they are getting some decent rounds on the board. Bit of aggression into Banana this time from the AWP, and Sterling changing up his position is able to catch out PZ. He's been more so over toward the A side of the map for Encore so far, but nice to see him being quite mobile and active early in the round.
That HENA was looking good, and it dunks Valiance for a good 38 HP. Good stuff from Hazard. He's even going to re-aggress off the back of that molly. See if he can catch one of these players in mid just to cross their placement. He's looking sharp on Inferno right now. Takes out Vexite. 2-man advantage now for Encore. VERTEX still with a 3-on-2-ish on this side of the map. But the problem is one of them's Hazard. He's got shadow advantage, and he is clicking on nothing but heads right now.
Mm-hmm. 2-on-5 for Malta and Valiant. I think this one's probably a little bit too far gone, but maybe they can do a bit of damage. Money hasn't built up so much for Encore that it would be irrelevant. Mollies do go on through, and it looks like Has has got that one locked down pretty comfortably. He's having a really good map here. 12-3. I mean, no one else is even having to play the game right now on Encore. Yeah, Sterling gets the opening pick, and then Hazard wins the rest of the round.
I mean, that's kind of what happens when you have, like, a mobile, confident dig side anchor. You can just aggress mid in towards bracket. Really shut down A side pressure. All on his lonesome. Another half buy-in from VERTEX with a hero rifle. This time on Brace. Going to give this round a crack, but I'm sensing a bit of a pattern this series, Jordan.
Yeah, what's that?
Been VERTEX looking really good, and me going, yeah, the boys, and then Encore just starts absolutely steamrolling.
APOC does steamroll Malta in that engagement. Oh, that was a very nice peek from Brace, though. Cleans up the head of Sterling. And I was going to say, maybe we're off to the races, but he needed a little bit more than just the one, didn't he? Savage able to lock it down, and while that AK was retrieved, it's not going to matter. Savage makes that look easy.
All the riflers just multi-fragging up a storm on Encore, kind of cleaning things up. Again, VERTEX down to Galil's to be able to put utility together. Utility is king on Inferno. So having to go for MAC-10s and Galil's in these gun rounds that VERTEX very badly need to win is not ideal. Encore just leaving one player kind of retake B in this round. Going to go for some carpets aggression.
4 apiece. Still leaning one way or the other. As of yet undecided. Obviously, economic advantage is there for Encore, and Sterling will not be baited by the shoulder peaks of Malta.
Oh, savage. Literally, he spent the last 20 seconds juggling grenades from CT and still finds that opening pick on, or the second pick. Hazza regressing in towards Boiler, even with a 2-man advantage. Encore is just playing with confidence. They are bullying VERTEX out of the server right now.
Yeah, it's not an ideal sign for VERTEX, is it? Don't really have anything to fall back on. And obviously, this could well be a grand final preview. These are probably the 2 teams that we're expecting to make it through from the lower bracket. So if you're going to be dispatched in, I would say so far, relatively convincing fashion by Encore, then it's not a great sign for tomorrow night. Obviously, things can change, though, from one day to the next. And hey, it might not even be these 2 teams that make it to the grand final. Certainly one of them will. That's obvious, but DGG or Aftershock might have something to say about it in that lower bracket. That is the matchup that's going on at the moment, by the way. Race not able to get too much done there. But if you're interested, ESL_TV has the lower bracket match. See which team gets eliminated first from the competition. See how that one's shaping up at the moment. Well, it looks like Aftershock's gotten the better of DGG in the first map, so interesting result, that one.
There's many in a row for Encore. Not looking really tested in these gun rounds. They've got plenty of cash across the board. 7+K on all the boys, and VERTEX back down to Deco. Even if they get some economic damage in here and there, it's not really mattering at this point in the game. Domination from Encore on this CT side. I feel like VERTEX very flat on their T sides tonight. Not what you'd be expecting from a team with this much kind of calling prowess. I think you would expect Malta and Brace to bang their heads together and come up with a pretty good T side.
Nice position for APOC to hold from here. He's actually going to let Hazza take the lion's share of the job initially. Sterling does actually get his head banged out as well. He's working out pretty nicely for VERTEX in this round, all things considered. Yeah, they're not really much of a threat, but they're finding opportunities. They're finding openings. Walter wasn't really able to hit the head with that P250, though, and so looks like it'll be wrapped up pretty cleanly for Encore. Might have spoken too soon. If Vexite has anything to say about it.
3v2. No rifles retrieved still for these VERTEX players. Only 25 seconds. Get boots on the ground in the site. With that player at Moto to help APOC out. Yeah, he can just play this off angle at pillar. Is even needed. He still has, seems like he's getting it done himself, and they've just hand delivered the C4 over to him. Easy as you like for Encore. 3 players up, more than enough to keep that economic advantage going. Now VERTEX maxing out their loss bonus. Finally getting full AKs across the board with the util. Let's see if they've come up with something, because this T side is just not looking appealing at the moment.
Is that a banana
Encore
joke?
is staying ahead of the curve as well. They just keep aggressing. They keep changing up their setup. Very difficult to read.
Indeed. Let's see where Sterling's going to go early in the round again here. Back over toward A by the looks of things. Does get flashed away, though. But seen that pop flash from APOC a couple of times early on in the round, and I think maybe VERTEX are wisening up to it. They've gotten the better of Sterling this time. PZ will get that job done.
And Savage has full Nana control and an AWP. They probably think that AWP has been dropped on jungle side, so they might not be ready for the secondary AWP on this line towards Nana. Beautiful opener for him. Doesn't quite get away. Good spacing for VERTEX, getting so close up towards half wall, and that might just be enough to get this round done now. And advantage smoke on CT, and they are very far ahead of the 8 ball in terms of rotations. Bomb still hasn't crossed yet, though.
I mean, they've got another smoke here. if they need it. So Malta's going to be able to re-smoke, and the cross will eventually ensue.
Double nade.
Nades over the top. Not quite going to be enough to dispatch a Valiant, and it actually alerted Malta to the fact that there was players on that angle, and so Encore will lose at least one more. Probably end up just being the save here from Ustilo and APOC. Maybe APOC not going to quite be able to get out.
VERTEX finally cracking in with a round. Much needed. Not letting any of those players save. Malta multi-fragging. 3k for him. 4 players up for VERTEX, and they get an ult for PZ. So a very nice round, much needed. Going to break up the momentum a little bit, as well as start to chip away at that CT side economy as we get into the kind of the waning hours of this half. If VERTEX could just chip in 1 or 2 more, I think they can be happy with this T side.
What do you think's the... Well, I'll actually hold that thought for the moment. We do have APOC again trying to make his way down mid, and it looks to have worked out very nicely indeed. He's actually going to let Sterling die. He's hoping for more than just the one frag here, and it unfortunately seems to be a bit of a sunk cost fallacy now, because he's waited so long. He's lost so many teammates that he really needs to find probably 2 or 3 kills here to save this round. He is in a position to do it, and they're lining up for him. Now's the chance. Here we go, APOC. 1, 2, 3. Not quite enough there for him for the third. It was almost a fantastic round.
Yeah, one of those awkward positions where, from like an armchair analyst perspective, like if his teammates just don't overpeak, he probably wins that round just from his impact alone. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to like a communication level and like a team level, things can get a little bit flooded. People can kind of get in the mindset of being down in numbers and just playing a little bit more on the aggressive side. They're already in an aggressive setup anyway. And you asked me what the key is for VERTEX. It has been denying the aggression, denying the map control and the opening picks for Encore. There's been the success factor. PZ opening fragged in the last 2 rounds, and they've won both of them.
Oh, pop flash over the top. It's going to be nice for Savage. Very nice indeed. A 2k. And that really makes the B site look a little bit more comfortable. Silo just chilling. He's going to call across the rotation of Sterling. Smoke in from VERTEX as well. They're going to try and do what they can to keep the players interested. Well, Malta's starting to work his way up Banana now as well, and so VERTEX are going to commit to this B site. Encore haven't over-rotated just yet, though, so this may still be doable for VERTEX if they're finding their entries. Ooh. They're not, though. Ustilo goes 1 for 1. That's enough to keep the numbers advantage there for the CT side.
Yeah, a little bit of util here on Hazard could go a long way. Flash shot towards Coffin's side was trying to set up Malta, but he's already gone down to Sterling. Now PZ must 1v3. He gets a Molotov that lands literally on his head. And Sterling plucking him out of the server. Good stuff from Encore. Not staying one-dimensional on this CT side. Not just trying to go balls to the wall aggressive in the early parts of the round, but a little bit more nuanced there. Starting to recognize the patterns in how VERTEX takes map control and choosing their timing to go for that pop flash play in towards Nana.
I was going to ask you, where do you think VERTEX kind of needs to hit on this T side to be happy?
Oh, I think, like I said, from the 6 that they already got, if they can get 7, they're going to be happy. I would say, moving into their CT side. Their CT sides have looked a lot better tonight.
Yep. All right, well, I guess in that case, Encore would want to be getting to 9. Early control of Banana does go the way of VERTEX in this round.
I haven't seen any kind of jungle control at all for VERTEX, really. That's where I'd like to see them put a little bit more emphasis. They've put a lot of like pressure on Banana time and time again. They are going to go back towards bracket side, or they've been pushed out of Nana by that retake util. Molotov's going to keep him back for the time being. Where I'd love to see them pressure towards jungle, keep those CT rotations honest, maybe even go for some kind of a rat play.
.45 left in the round, so VERTEX are going to have to start picking the pace up fairly shortly, but they're heading towards a bomb site with 3 defenders. Apox up on top of the flower pots. He's still just going to clear out CT spawn. Maybe worried someone's wrapped in through arch side. Not the case, though, as we know. And I'm a little worried about VERTEX here. If they don't hit clean entries, this is going to be it. 20 seconds left. Not a lot of time. They do have that lurk, but there's no chance of going back over to A. Bomb has been dropped. 15 seconds left. Savage, if he can just survive or find one more, could have won the round. Now it's on to Valiance, though, who will whiff. The smoke fades. Valiance would survive for just long enough, and you still can't deny that bomb plant goes down as well. Sterling now in the 1-on-2. Malta's had absolutely no idea that he's coming up behind, but he's missed so many shots. What is going on in this round?
Oh, this is such a messy round. This is a classic AUCS round. Malta going to get the boost up on the flower pot. Probably not something Sterling's going to be able to read because he doesn't know both of those players are towards main, but now he does after seeing the player on the flower pot. But PZ, safe pair of hands, good crosshair placement, sitting in towards backside of main, comes in for the trade. And now a potentially easier round number 15 for VERTEX. Money is actually not great for Encore. Yes, they can get a lot of A1Ss across, but the util's going to be a little bit more on the limited side. Not as many Molotovs. Savage has got to go down to the alligator.
Well, VERTEX putting in the hard yards on this map, that's for sure. As they did in the first half of Dust 2. They really want to ensure that the second half is good as well. Let themselves down a little bit, I thought, on Dust 2. Another opportunity here. Savage with that alligator definitely could get some work done. Has he been spotted by that jump? Not sure. Doesn't look like it. And that goes straight into the head of Vexite. It's a 1-for-1 though. You still eating a few flashes, pieces of utility. Keeping him feeling a little bit awkward.
Four on 4, 2-man aggression in towards dig side. Encore recognizing that they've lost a fair bit of info. They do clear mid, I think there. That's going to give them potentially a false sense of security. This Carp's Pop is going to come out. We have a player up on Balk's side.
Oh. VERTEX going from good to better. So they make those inroads in onto that A-bomb side. And last round, of course, Sterling and Ustillo are going to have to try and go for this one. But realistically, what are their chances?
Not a whole lot. We're going to give it a crack, but they've already got a player behind them. PC executes both of those last 2 players there, Jordan. An easy round for VERTEX.
Indeed, it's time for us to take a short break as well, so don't go too far away. We'll be back with the second half in just a sec. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the second half between Encore and VERTEX. This is the second map, and obviously it's kind of do or die for VERTEX in the sense that if they don't win this, they go back down into the lower bracket final and have a bit of work to do to make it into that grand final tomorrow. But all things said and done, VERTEX has actually put together a pretty good T side, and now the onus feels like it's kind of on Encore to actually close this map out.
Double dualies, raid boss. I love this. Flash over towards half-wall side. Going to be running up onto into Malta here in a second.
Oh, and that's pretty crisp already from Malta. Vexite's able to get himself another one there as well. It's already a favorable exchange for VERTEX. Apoc now has those dualies in hands, but it's not going to matter when Vexite is hitting heads at every turn. That said, Hazard going to give it a crack now as well. Has a 1-on-3, so probably needs one more gun if he's going to be able to clutch this one out. 2 might not quite be enough.
We'll see. Got that bomb down yet, but immediately just taken out of the server by PC. A nicely timed peek over towards main. And VERTEX putting themselves in the driver's seat already. CT side pistol going their way. Going to kick things off on the right foot. They denied any opportunity for Encore to get a bomb plant either. So Force Buy is going to be much less attractive. But when has that ever stopped Encore, Jordan?
It's a good question. Don't think it ever has. So Deagle's out. Mac 10's there as well. A little bit to work with for Encore.
I love their second round buys. VERTEX has gone ahead and taken full control of Nana here. Bit of a util set. Good opener from PC, playing bully mode with the A1S. Utilizing his weaponry advantage to get that first pick.
Where's Encore going to go now? He's sort of just milling around, I think, hoping for a freebie here from VERTEX. They're not going to get it.
Waiting for that aggression, right? But VERTEX quite happy with their man advantage. They've got decent info across the map. Just going to sit back on these crossfires in the back of the A site, rely on that sandbag setup. Flash over the top from Coffins. Dodged pretty nicely by that player pressuring up towards half-wall. Aggression onto jungle side is not going to do too well unless this Deagle hits a sharp headshot. In comes that wrap smoke. Great crosshair placement from Sterling, though.
And he get a little bit more done now that he's got an M4 in hand as well. Brace. Hiding up on top of balcony with an MP9. Has finally just found that angle and goes down a little bit too late to save the lives of Hazard and Savage. Maybe still a winnable round for Encore, but having not cleared out Pit is going to leave a really big hole in their chances. Sterling's going to go about that right now and times it quite nicely. The smoke keeps him safe from the players at Moto, and now he's able to drop down in Pit. It's the double Pit setup from Encore.
2 MP9s, no kits. Nightmare retake.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good strong hold here as well for Ustillo and for Sterling. They can just play off of one another, and as you say, not really doable for VERTEX, so maybe a little bit of a disappointing one in the end there for them.
Good exit. Takes the A1S away. Ustillo goes down to the bomb. Vexite, you got your... What are they sponsored by? You got your Pumas on today? Unfortunately not. No, he's not on order anymore. Bloody hell. When's VERTEX getting their shoe sponsorship? But I'm wondering.
Not everything's about shoes, Pilski. I know you're becoming a cool dude. You know, you're going to gym. You're having a real life. All right? You're starting to think about shoes.
Yep.
I liked you better
100%.
when all you talked about was Valorant and Counter-Strike.
Yeah. All I've been talking about is fashion and how I hang with the chillest dudes at the hottest restaurants.
A little bit of a faster take from Encore, and that might have caught PZ off guard there. Apoc really progressed in toward A with that Galil in hand. But Valiant, oh, he didn't do enough to dispatch of Hazard, but Malta was able to catch that timing, and bomb's been dropped in a really awkward spot. Brace now with an AK in hand, flashes trying to keep him at bay and open up some space for someone to get some work done on Encore. Luckily for them, Sterling's been able to do that. They're still going to have to win this 1-on-2, and Brace doing a great job of isolating Jules. That is a huge round for Vertex as they strike back and now find double digits.
Huge from Brace. Putting the boys on his back. Going to call a tactical timeout as well. Just get everybody kind of calming down a little bit. That's a big round. You can get overexcited. Get all the woo. Get all of that out. Get all the celebrations. And then let's get a nice game plan out. Get everyone on the same page. Make sure that we're reiterating, look, the other team's economy is cooked. They only got like 1.5 to 2K. Only can have so many grenades, probably a pistol armor force because we only had one player surviving. So let's play around that a little bit. Make sure that they get their heads screwed on right because that's a big opportunity Brace has bought them. If they can go 11-8 here, they will break Encore's money. And even after that single save they're going to have to take, unless they get a bomb plant, they still won't have that good of a buy. They're going to be pretty limited on util. This is a great opportunity for Vertex to start to pull ahead.
That said, sometimes these are the kinds of rounds that are the most difficult to get past. Not really much util for Encore though. Doesn't fill me with a huge amount of confidence they'll be able to pull something off here. Like to see maybe a flash or two just to open up some angles. Leaving it to just a couple of smokes. They're going to have to very wisely invest them. Close the gap. Pop a couple of heads. Maybe Sterling or Hazard or Savage with a Deagle could open the account and bring it to a 5-on-4 advantage. But so far, so good for Vertex.
Hard to go for this carpet spot with no flashes for Chimney, right? Oh, that is a hell of a lineup for PZ. Easy as you like.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing where a flash would be really helpful, but if there's no flash, PZ can just continue to hold that line and spray them down as they run through the smoke, and works out nicely for Vertex. I gotta say, I almost hate the fact that Vexite is on Vertex now because those two words, they come off the tongue in a very similar fashion.
I got a good new tongue twister for me. You got to say Vertex Vexite 5 times fast before you cast.
Vertex Vexite 5 times fast before you cast.
Vertex Vexite, Vertex Vexite, Vertex Vexite.
Yeah.
I'm ready to cast. Let's go.
You think they just picked up the players with V in their name to make it like a thing? You know, Vertex was like, we haven't got enough V players on this team. And we're Vertex. That's a V team. We need V players.
Where's Vrace and VZ?
VZ. That's a cool name.
VZ sounds better than PZ. I think that's... I'm willing to authorize that change.
Okay. What about Volta? What is he doing? Jumping over some... what are they called? Are they called vaults?
He's a cool guy. He probably does know a bit of parkour. Why did I say
I don't know. Maybe in his younger years, Jordan. I reckon he's getting a bit too boomer. You're falling apart? Yeah, I think Molta, maybe he was a bit more agile back in the 2010s.
Yeah, maybe. Pretty sure I think I can smell burnt toast or something. Something's going wrong in my brain. Nice anti-eco chance for Vertex here, though.
Indeed. We'll put them up to 12 as well. Getting within striking distance of 16 and a bit of a wake-up call maybe for Encore.
Bit of a 3-mapper on the cards, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely. Full Glock train out right now, and PC's going to be very happy for another 3K. That'll be a 4K in the end, and APOC almost goes down to the incent to give him the ace.
He thought about it, and then he's like, no, I don't want to give him the ace.
Yeah.
Oh, look at PZ.
He's running away.
APOC's like, no.
That's so toxic.
That's pretty dog.
That is pretty dog.
That's what I'm saying, though, Jordan. Like I was saying when they were 8-10, like, even look at this gun round. Like, this gun round kind of sucks. T-side Inferno, like, you got no mollies. You got 1 molly. You got 2 mollies. That's it. 3 mollies. No, they're juggling the mollies. 2 mollies. That's it. And 3 flashes to get through the map on Inferno. You got to be joking me. Like, you basically dump your initial util that you just do because of the protocols, and you're like, well, I got 3 grenades. Let's go B exec. Doing a pretty good job holding that util though. They're not burning extra flashes unnecessarily. Good shouldering, good jump spotting. There's a molly into main. So they're out of mollies now, but they've used their 2 mollies to take banana control. It's pretty worth.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, they haven't really bled out too much of that CT util at all. And that's something that I've been really impressed by from Vertex on their CT sides today, is that every time I'm looking at their lineup, I'm seeing, you know, 2 or 3 mollies, 2 or 3 smokes, a good portion of flashes deep into rounds. And it's putting so much, like, I guess, utility pressure, counter utility pressure on their opponents when they're trying to get into the site. So I think the CT util usage has been really good from Vertex tonight. And you're probably going to see that come about in this kind of a round. Look, a Molotov straight onto the bomb side. It's going to make it very difficult for Vertex to even lose from here. Malta with a double MP9 and Vexite, even another. So they don't have ideal weaponry, but their util usage has been so good. And when you can hit headshots through a smoke as well, it's just going to make it look even easier. So really clean round from Vertex. They make it look great. Taking some util through to the next one as well. So yeah, I think we might be headed to 3.
Oh, there's a bomb plant though for Encore. Don't count your chickens before they wake you up in your old place of residence, like you, Jordan.
What?
Didn't you get woken up by like roosters or something at your old house?
I did. That was not a good time. It was weird because I lived in a very residential area.
Right?
Yeah, I just lived in the suburbs, and there was like 2 roosters, one like really close and one quite far away, but still within hearing distance.
Yeah. I just wanted to talk to each other, dude. Half buy off that one for Encore. Didn't have enough loss bonus even with the bomb plant to put a buy together. They were pretty sad about that. And that probably now means that this is going 14s up for Vertex.
Yeah, I think so. Unless there's a bit of Sterling magic in the future. Easy, not really missing a beat tonight, though. And he will shut that one down before anyone even gets excited. 14-8. This would be a pretty big win for Vertex.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be each team kind of slapping each other on their map picks. And then we go to Nuke. Is anyone's guess? Both of these teams have a bit of history.
Yeah, I think most teams in ANZ tend to be pretty happy to go toward Nuke. It'll be a good final map for this series. I would like to see it.
No, won't count on Encore just yet, though. Initial banana control does go towards Vertex, but then Vexite dies with a handful of grenades. It's definitely not ideal. Now Malta getting isolated in front of the molly. That is gorgeous. If you want to start a comeback train, that's the way to do it, Jordan.
What if Brace is here to halt it? Not quite.
Don't cast a curse him. You're not even like trying to hide it.
Don't make it like I have some anti-Vertex agenda. I've already said I didn't like Vexite to Vertex because it gets me all tongue-tied, and now you're trying to bait me into that one as well.
What did Vexite say about his brother? He said he would humble him, I think. Vexite would humble you, dude. Don't even talk smack about Vexite.
Vexite would humble me. Maybe. Maybe in the Counter-Strike server.
Alright. We got another fight set up at DreamHack Melbourne out in the car park.
Get me in a cage with Vexite and he's toast. That's all I'm saying.
Don't even need a cage. Just
how tall is he? I reckon I've got the reach on him.
Hit him up on the loading dock.
Yeah. Plus, I got my boys to back me up as well. I don't know if he has any boys. He makes too many enemies.
I think you only need Mac. We don't even need boys plural. Just bring Mac along with you.
Me and Roffleco will take him on, and yeah.
Roffleco? Yeah.
I'll tag in Mac as well.
Yep.
Pilsky, you can come help. You've been hitting the gym.
Yeah, give me a
Vexite is toast.
couple more months. Yeah, that might be enough time, actually.
Who can
That's a good
Vexite
round
pull
from
in?
Encore, though. They're starting to get back into it.
Malta?
Malta?
Yeah, I don't think he can pull. I reckon I could take Malta. That's all I'm saying.
Might set that one up as well. I'll tell you what Malta's taking, though. He's taking banana every damn round. Last round got made to look a little silly for it. This round, they picked Valiant's. First pick's coming quite easily to Encore at the moment. Malta's going to trade one back through the bottom of banana smoke, but this is an awkward position for the CTs. They don't have a whole lot of info about what's happening, and
they're giving up B.
Yeah, I mean, Encore had a window to get into A there, but obviously, you know, they don't have perfect information. So they've kind of missed their window now. This is a 4v4 fisticuffs on the A site.
Ah, don't half mind the rotation in from VERTEX, and already Vexite is getting some work done. This is looking much more doable for them. Brace holding on site. PZ in the pit. APOC does find some inroads, and Savage is starting to make his way through Moto. So now, if PZ can't get any more done, then it starts to swing back in the favor of Encore. They're not done just yet.
Yeah. 2v3 going to probably be a little bit too hard to put together. And I think their economy will thank them for it if they save these rifles. So, got to play the long game here. And I have to say, we've been counting out Encore a little bit too quickly. Definitely starting to crack in with a couple of T-side rounds here and build up their own money. Continue trying to fight for this game. Look, even if VERTEX just get that 15th across the board at some point, I would not put it past Encore to grind this into OT.
Well, they haven't got that 15th on the board just yet. It may not even come down to that. Sterling goes down to the bomb, though. Bit of a reinvestment required now for Encore, but they're looking pretty healthy economically, so shouldn't be a huge issue. 4 rounds the deficit. Still a good lead for VERTEX. Still very much their map to lose.
Yeah, it feels like Encore's starting to get themselves on that roll, which is scary from what we saw in the previous map. Bit of a different pacing on this banana side. Not full banana control this time from VERTEX. They're playing what I assumed was going to be that sandbag setup, but actually, the more importantly, they were aggressive carpets.
It's a great start to the round for VERTEX, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You silo down already. Huge damage onto Hazard and APOC. Savage.
Trade it back.
Know how
Anticipating
close.
the pick from window room as well.
Yeah.
Encore's got banana control. They've got a pretty good read on this round right now. It's such an awkward standoff at second mid, though.
Who moves first?
Nice to see Brace's fans still turning out, though, for the games.
He's got a lot of them. I think it's that award-winning smile.
Yeah, look at that fan up the top of the screen. Big fan right there.
Yep. It's a big one. Oh, Brace just did not see Savage, did he? He had no idea.
Other things on his mind. He's trying to call Jordan. He's trying to call the round. Fortunately, VERTEX have vacated the A site. PC's basically got a 1v4 right now.
Ooh. Well, if he's going to win a 1v4, he needs to hit a few more shots than that one. Second chance does work out for him, but he'll need a little more than that, and unfortunately, it's not quite going to go his way. Sterling and APOC. 2-on-1. I think Malta's more interested in saving. So that'll be another one on the board for Encore. They are grinding it back, as you say.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a winnable game for him. No doubt about it. Starting to adapt to what VERTEX have been showing them. And that's what I feel like has been the difference. Encore on their CT side, they're like a little bit more unhinged. There's a lot more of a dimension to them. Like, that was the first example of it for VERTEX, but even Encore, like those mid dives, the mid round, like flash peeks in towards banana, and then some rounds they just did passive setups. Whereas VERTEX, I feel like there's they're like a little bit more limited in terms of the spectrum of aggression they're throwing in on CT at the moment. That was the first time where, yeah, they did an aggressive carpet setup, but it still didn't net them around. And then the rest of the times, it's kind of been, you know, Nana control. And then just leaning into whatever they're kind of comfortable with, the comfortable setups for them, which is not a bad way to go. But when you're pretty far ahead, sometimes it's great to play to win rather than playing not to lose.
Well, VERTEX were pretty far ahead. I'm not sure they're pretty far ahead anymore, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is a anti-eco with a hero rifle, and that's it.
Definitely starting to get a little bit too close for comfort. Unless Malta pulls off some magic with this M4, he's in the right spot to do it. They almost line up. Apop finds the timing on Valiant's creeping his way out into bracket. So that's probably the round shut down by Encore, but there was a couple of heart-stopping moments. You're a VERTEX fan, at least.
Yeah. Honestly, VERTEX would have done better to get some more damage done this round.
What?
Hold on, brace.
No
Just
way.
using that headshot position. Look at how low Savage is in the pit, but he's getting closed in on from all sides. Molotov to the back of the site. HE nade, and slowly but surely, Apop comes on in there. Got excited for a minute, but
They had no idea where he was. Silencer
and with
OP.
gun in the back of the site. Doing his what is it, like Tom Clancy Splinter Cell impression.
Yeah.
That's a throwback.
Dude. I thought there was something there for him. I thought he was going to get the player in pit as well, who was so low.
Yeah.
Either way, Encore, get it over the line. I mean, they lose 2 guns. I don't think it's a big deal at this point in time. They just need to make sure they're winning rounds, and they've done it.
I mean, more than 2 guns would have been a big deal. Like, if VERTEX had taken 3 or 4 guns off them there, it does make a difference. You can even see some of these players, like Ustillo and Hazard, don't actually have that much money. The rest of the boys are pretty decked out. So, look, scraping guns away over time would have made a difference for VERTEX. At the moment, not too concerned for them. They're going to, again, make it look like they're taking banana control, but not actually committing that much util for it.
Oh, dear.
Off angle from PZ gives them the man advantage. They need to convert, though.
Well, the opening pick does make it a lot easier. VERTEX with a nice setup on A as well. 2 players in pit. 1 in dig. I mean, I suppose there is a bit of awkwardness around Arch side, but there's no real presence there from Encore. Ustillo has found the timing onto PZ. It took him a while to get the job done. That opened the door for Brace, but Vexite has rotated across, and, well, his position now more or less known, but I don't think Encore have quite capitalized on this opportunity as much as they needed. It was a good entry, but now they're needing to work hard to get in the site, and Savage, he almost got it done for them. But Vexite goes one better, survives on 20 HP, and now it's down to Sterling to stave off overtime.
VERTEX just holding hands, so exactly like you'd want to be seeing in this 2-on-2. They walk together, they clear out bracket, they know where the bomb is dropped.
He knows he's going to have to multi-frag as well, so the pistol comes out.
I love that. Wrap through carps. Perfect.
It's starting to make some noise. They're going to be well aware of his position. He's not expecting them to come through from balcony. And so, 15 on the board for VERTEX after a long string of rounds for Encore. Finally, their charge may be put to an end.
Yeah. Could have gone a little better. Like, Savage, I think, I'm not sure what the situation was, but Savage, I think, killed Ustillo there on that entry in towards dig side. There was a team kill. That could have been like a couple more numbers in towards the site. Might have made a difference. Either way, though, only a couple players surviving there for VERTEX. They're going to take a tack timeout. The way this T side has been going 3 in a row for Encore is definitely not far outside the realms of expectation. VERTEX having a bit of a chat. Juggling a lot of nades into spawn indicates that this is probably going to be some kind of trickery on B. A bit of a retake setup. See how they kind of maneuver this one. They've dropped the nades very early, so they're starting to roll every which way. So there's a smoke and a molly in spawn for those B players on the rotation over. Very quick one, straight up banana here for Encore, changing up the pace. Apop applying a lot of pressure here.
Malta behind this smoke. It's a great spot to play from. Sterling has no idea at all. Trade, it takes a while to come through. 3 smokes there, but Vexite could well get 1 or 2 on this exit. Needs to be careful he doesn't eat some bullets of his own.
4 on 4 though. Encore applying a lot of pressure to the rotations, picking that player on B. Leg shot from PZ as Ustillo crosses apartment, spotting that player with the AWP on towards Carpet side, and Encore reads that as jungle open for the taking. Starting to sneak through Arch side. Aggression down in towards Banana from VERTEX, while Valiance takes that peek in towards Dig, wins that duel. Now man advantage for VERTEX, and they've got a lot of information.
Hey, Poc's going to give it a crack. He's going to set up on exactly the same line and hope that he'll be able to find an advantage. It's decent positions right now for Encore, but a lot of this comes down to the decisions that they make. Race with the smoke. No CT is dirty. And Vexite with a big wrap has found that timing. Savage might just catch him, but not quite fast enough. And now into the 1-on-4. Savage is going to have to pull off the mother of all clutches to save the map for Encore. With only 16 seconds left here, he's going to be able to try and get that bomb, but it really does not matter. PZ is going to shut it down. And end of the day, it looks like we are going to be heading toward map number 3, Pilski. So good solid stuff from VERTEX, gotta say. Really, really nice game. Obviously, it looked like Encore might be able to grind it out, but nice mental fortitude from the VERTEX lads, and another example of this sort of project coming together quite nicely.
I think a much better T side from them is what gave me a lot of confidence.